IELTS Speaking Test Part 1 Introduction and Interview. Topic: Daily Routines. Let's talk about your daily routine. What is your favourite time of day?
I'd have to say late morning, probably around 10 or 11 a.m. By that time, I've already had my coffee and tackled my most urgent tasks, so I feel productive but not yet tired. It's a period of peak focus for me, and I try to schedule my important work then.
Has your daily routine changed much in the last year?
Actually, yes. It has changed quite significantly. I recently started a new job that requires a longer commute, so I've had to get up earlier, and I've become more structured with my evenings to ensure I get enough sleep. It's been an adjustment, but I think it's for the better.
Are your weekdays and weekends different?
They are drastically different. My weekdays are quite regimented, dominated by work, gym sessions, and simple meals. Weekends, however, are for spontaneity. I catch up with friends, explore new parts of the city, or sometimes just indulge in a lazy morning with a book. This contrast helps me maintain a good work-life balance.
Let's move on to talk about music. Do you often listen to music?
Absolutely. I listen to music daily. It's a constant companion. I have playlists for different moods and activities, upbeat electronic music for the gym, ambient or classical when I need to concentrate, and my favorite indie rock for relaxing.
What kind of music did you like when you were younger?
Oh, that's a good question. When I was a teenager, I was really into pop-punk and rock bands, groups like Green Day. I suppose it was a form of teenage rebellion, a way to express energy and angst. My taste has mellowed and broadened considerably since then.
Do you think music tastes reflect personality?
To a certain extent, yes. I think the music you're drawn to can reveal something about your emotional state or your energy level. However, it's not a perfect mirror. Sometimes people enjoy music that is completely opposite to their everyday personality, perhaps as an escape or to experience a different vibe.
Thank you. This is IELTS Speaking Test, Part 2, Long Turn. Now, I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. You can make some notes if you wish. Here is your topic and a paper and pencil for your notes. Describe an interesting old person you have met. You should say who this person is or was, how you met them, they were like, and explain why you found them interesting. Right. Remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes for this. I'll tell you when the time is up. Please begin.
I'd like to talk about a former neighbor of mine, Mrs. Alvarez. She was in her mid-80s when I met her about 5 years ago. I was new to the apartment building, and she lived alone next door. We first interacted properly when I offered to help her carry some heavy grocery bags up the stairs. She initially refused, quite fiercely, but then relented with a warm smile. What she was like? Well, she was a fascinating character, physically quite frail, but with a mind as sharp as a tack and a dry, witty sense of humor. She was a retired art teacher, and her apartment was filled with her own vibrant paintings. But more than that, she had led an incredibly full life. She'd traveled solo across South America in the 1960s, which was quite unconventional for a woman at that time. The reason I found her so interesting was her perspective on life. She wasn't nostalgic or stuck in the past. She was genuinely curious about the modern world, asking me about social media and current events, though she often joked about the pace of life today. She embodied the idea that curiosity and learning don't have an age limit. Conversations with her weren't just pleasantries, they were genuinely stimulating. She challenged my own assumptions about aging. Sadly, she passed away a couple of years ago, but she left a real impression on me.
Thank you. Did you keep in touch with her after you moved?
For a while, yes. I'd visit occasionally for tea, even after I moved to a different neighborhood. It was always a highlight of my month.
IELTS Speaking Test, Part 3. Discussion. We've been talking about an old person. Now, I'd like to discuss some more general questions related to this. In your culture, how are older people traditionally viewed?
In my culture, older people are traditionally accorded a great deal of respect. They are seen as repositories of wisdom and experience, and the family unit often revolves around caring for elderly relatives. This concept is called filial piety. However, I should note that in modern urban settings, this is evolving due to smaller families and career pressures. But the fundamental respect remains strong.
Do you think the role of older people in society is changing?
Yes, I believe it's undergoing a significant shift. In the past, their role was often more passive, being cared for and advising within the family. Now, with people living longer and healthier lives, many are redefining old age. They are starting second careers, engaging in volunteer work, and are active consumers and travelers. Society is beginning to see them as a continued resource rather than just a dependent group.
Now let's talk about aging populations. What are the challenges of an aging population for a country?
The most immediate challenges are economic and related to healthcare. A smaller working-age population has to support a larger retired one, which puts strain on pension systems and healthcare budgets. There's also a need for adapted infrastructure, like accessible public transport and specialized care facilities. Furthermore, it can potentially lead to a slowdown in innovation, as some argue younger societies are more dynamic. The most immediate challenges are economic and related to healthcare. A smaller working-age population has to support a larger retired one, which puts strain on pension systems and healthcare budgets. There's also a need for adapted infrastructure, like accessible public transport and specialized care facilities. Furthermore, it can potentially lead to a slowdown in innovation, as some argue younger societies are more dynamic.
Some say that younger people today have less respect for the elderly. What's your opinion on there?
I think it's an oversimplification. The form of respect has changed, rather than the respect itself disappearing. In the past, respect was often shown through obedience and formal rituals. Today, younger people may question advice more readily, but that stems from a different, more information-driven upbringing. I believe many young people still value the emotional support and life perspective of older generations, but the relationship is becoming more egalitarian, more like a friendship. So, it's a transformation, not necessarily a decline.
How can societies benefit from encouraging more contact between the young and the old?
The benefits are immense. For the young, it provides a sense of historical continuity and practical wisdom that isn't found in textbooks. They can learn resilience and gain perspective on their own problems. For the elderly, regular contact with youth can reduce loneliness, keep them mentally agile, and give them a sense of purpose and relevance. For society as a whole, it fosters social cohesion and can help combat ageist stereotypes, creating a more integrated community. It's a mutually beneficial exchange. The benefits are immense. For the young, it provides a sense of historical continuity and practical wisdom that isn't found in textbooks. They can learn resilience and gain perspective on their own problems. For the elderly, regular contact with youth can reduce loneliness, keep them mentally agile, and give them a sense of purpose and relevance. For society as a whole, it fosters social cohesion and can help combat ageist stereotypes, creating a more integrated community. It's a mutually beneficial exchange.
Thank you very much. That is the end of the speaking test.